Good afternoon. First, let's start with the news of the day. As I'm sure you guys already know, I made a change at the coordinator position. Um, did not come to this decision lightly, to be really transparent with you. It's just a personal belief of mine from a leadership perspective. It is my role to absorb and protect those that I work with. And this doesn't feel like that. Um, Obviously, I'm not interested in assigning blame or deflecting in any way. It's more in my natural nature to absorb, to be quite honest with you. I've been in this role so long, I'm quite comfortable absorbing. So just rest assured that this decision was not taken lightly.
Oh, that's the best thing could have happened. We're so thankful here at the Steel Studio. We're thankful that Matt Canada is gone. I like Matt Canada as a person, but as a coach, he sucked. We had the most basic, predictable offense in the league. We have so much talent, and now we can move forward. Now you're going to see a huge difference, man. I really believe that. We don't have to tweak too much. But first of all, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. These are my Thursday thoughts. I decided to do a live show in person today. These are my Thursday thoughts here in the Steel Studio. Follow us on the Facebook group, Steel Studio, The Steel Studio, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to follow us, man. We're there. But thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. And we are so thankful that today, thankful, number one, that we lost that game, even though we were mad. We shouldn't have ever lost to the Clowns, but we did. And there was no excuse for losing that game when you had the ball with a minute 45 left on your 40-yard line and you would take off 17 seconds. 17 seconds got Matt Canada fired, I believe. Rooney said enough. Omar said enough. And what did we talk about? We said Omar is going to make this team a Steeler team again. We are not going to settle for mediocrity. Everybody says, "Oh, we haven't won a play," and we haven't won a playoff game. And I believe we will this year. We're going to get it together. The good news coming out of the Cleveland game, number one, we lost because then if Canada we would have won, Canada probably would have kept his job. And we would have been bounced if we happened to make the playoffs because every game would have been close. Every game would have been a heart attack, and I don't think it will be now. I think we can do enough to win some of these games we should be winning because we're better than these teams. And we ran the ball for almost 200 yards against the Browns. 200 yards. That's a lot against that defense, which is a good defense. But, you know, the routes aren't as good. Um, the With Canada, the routes were terrible. Guys are just like going on. I'm open. I'm open. You know, they gotta have created routes. You got to create conflict in the middle of the field to create some openings. And this team is good enough to win, man. The running game is really coming on. Jalen Warren's a stud. Najee's a stud. I still love Najee, but Warren could be a super stud. And the Steelers know what to do. If he's the hot hand, they should have ran. And they should have ran him there with the minute 45 left a couple times. We probably win that game easily. But now I'm so thankful because big picture, we weren't going anywhere with this guy, and he was holding Kenny back. And I still believe Kenny can make the throws. We've seen it in the past. I mean, just look back to last year against the Bengals. Let's look at that. I mean, Kenny was making better throws last year. People forget these throws, man. I mean, that was an interference there, but he was making throws. There were throws there to be had. Um, and we ended up losing this game, but we scored 30 points. Middle of the field. Wow. We haven't seen that this year. So I'm not sure what happened to make us regress. But I just remember this from last year. I wanted to look back. Look at this. Watch this touchdown. Touchdown to Pickens. Where is that? We need that back. And I think we will. I think we'll get that back. So we're excited about that. The opportunity to get the offense back, get the mojo back. We need our mojo back. I don't think people like the guy. I think that's what Najee's frustration was. I think that's what Deontay's frustration was. They didn't like the guy, and he wouldn't listen. We did, and the Steelers have been trying to make changes. They brought the Broderick Jones in. They changed the offensive blocking scheme. That's another thing. I don't want to hear that we can't change the scheme a little bit because they changed the blocking scheme from zone to this power. And look at our run game, man, averaging 180 yards a game since we did that. They did bring Canada sideline. They tried that, and it just wasn't. We just need to do better. And I think there was some infighting with some of the coordinators, the quarterback coach, what they were calling and what Canada was calling, and ultimately it cost him his job. And I think Sullivan's going to be good. I was watching some tape of Sullivan when he was with the Giants in the Super Bowl, and we're going to watch that now. Watch a couple plays on that. And hopefully, our offense could be as good. He coached Eli Manning to 2 Super Bowl victories as a coordinator there at the Giants. This guy is qualified, and I think he will be um, our future coordinator. And maybe Leftwich comes in as a quarterback coach or something. But I think it's going to be Sullivan. I think he'll do fine. I think we're going to keep because we have so much talent. We have Deontay Pickens. We got Muth. We got Robinson. We got Warren Harris. The two best tandem in the league running backs. Line's looking better. They got a pass block a little better, but I think Kenny was holding the ball. We playing zone. Zone should be easier to pass on than man. Most quarterbacks can't pass on man. Kenny can. Just take what they give you in zone. You can beat them. They'll have to get out of that damn zone. And then they're going to be scrambling to stop the man, and then we can run the ball too. So this team is dangerous. I'm telling you. And the one thing I'm frustrated about is Minka needs to come back, and hopefully he does this week because his defense could be good if we get him back. And then the offense is good, and you're going to see what happens. I'm telling you, I really believe that. If Minka doesn't come back, we could lose to another shit quarterback again, like we did last week. But hopefully he comes back because we need that leadership on the back end. Let's look at the when Sullivan coached the Giants. Look at that. Can you imagine our passing game being that good down the middle of the tight end? Wow. This is when they beat New England in the Super Bowl. Biggest upset in NFL history. Sullivan was the coordinator. That's pretty big. Look at that. Throwing down the middle of the field. We got the talent to do this. It's just a matter of doing it. And I still believe in Kenny and all the retards that are saying he's not good and all that. I've seen him do it. Look at that. That's what we got to look forward to, I believe. And playing Steeler football. And this is what it's about. Omar's going to keep loading. He signed a couple middle linebackers. The guy never stops. He's very aggressive, and we're going to be just fine. Like I said, very thankful and happy, and now we have a chance. Now we could really be something. So just watch how the little things. You won't see too many differences. I think we're still going to run the football first and foremost, but I think you'll see some better routes run by the receivers. We won't be doing those reverses. We'll be throwing some of that shit out. When you're moving the ball, yeah, you could do reverse, but you don't do it on 3rd and 1. You just run the damn ball on 3rd and 1. 3rd and 2, go in the shotgun and try to throw deep every time. When you're struggling, when you're running the ball so well, just do what you should do, and that's going to be the difference. And those Canada didn't know how to call a freaking game. That's my opinion. So now the games are going to be called better, and Eddie Faulkner is going to be drawing up the plays during the week, and then Sullivan's going to be calling the plays. And Faulkner's done well with the running backs, hasn't he? So don't worry about him. He's very experienced as well. Tomlin knows what he's doing. And for those people in the media that say the Steelers are in chaos, blah, 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 bullshit. We're not in chaos at all. We had to make this move because we know we have a good team. We have the talent. The AFC is a little weak this year, and we have the talent to get there. And we have a young quarterback in our windows now. Once we start paying Kenny, it's harder, and or whoever. If it's not Kenny, a lot of people think it won't be Kenny, but if it is, I think it will be Kenny. And it's harder when you start paying. That's what's going to happen to the Bengals. They're going to start paying. As far as the Browns go, Watson's salary goes from $20 million to $60 next year. You think they're going to be able to keep all these people? They're not going to be able to keep all these people. So it puts more on them, and we just need the Burrow. The Bengals got to pay Burrow, and the Lamar, same thing. All these teams, we have our window right now. So this year, next year, and the year after, I think we are going to be competitors. We're not out of it by any means, and the best thing could have happened, in my opinion. Even if we don't make the playoffs, even if we struggle for some reason, have more injuries or whatever happens, and Kenny's a flop, Kenny's not the man, then we're going to be better off without Canada. So we are better off than having him succeed a little bit and going into next year. Now we got a fresh start. It's exciting, and you'll see the difference. So, hey, that's my Thursday thoughts. Go Steelers. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families, and go Steelers.